Hello everyone, Derek's Damn Toys, and we are back with another action figure review. Sadly, this one took me the longest to want to kind of get out of all the ones over the past few days. I had somewhat plans today, but that shit kind of went awry, so oh well, slept it off. And now we are back at 4 o'clock in the morning to get this review done on a Tuesday. So that'll be fun. We'll get this all nice up, reviewed. We'll talk about it. And hopefully at some point tonight I can start working on the pick fed because I'm not going to sit around and wait for failure. So with that being said, let's take a nice little gander at this figure. Of course, this is I almost said the Elite Series 8. The Unmatched or Unrivaled, Unrivaled, there you go. You see it right there. Series 12 Jon Moxley. I almost wanted to say Series 8. See, my mind's all over the place right now. I just kind of woke up like 30 minutes ago. So, you're going to have to deal with sleepy Derek's Damn Toys today. But yeah, with that being said, we're already almost like a minute and 30 seconds in. So let's get this man out of his plastic prison and, well, we can take a nice look at the Chase 1 of 5,000 Jon Moxley that I honestly shouldn't open, but I'm gonna do it anyways, because I'm a fucking psycho. Anywho, let's get into this, shall we? Alrighty, now that we've got the Chase Moxley up out of the plastic prison, we can get into his accessories. Of course, pre-standard AEW figures don't always come with a bunch of accessories, but he does come with a set of fist hands and a set of weapon holding hands. I'd say mic holding hands, but unless you're using like WWE microphones, those do not hold microphones. Especially with how thin they tend to make the AEW microphones, just as an example, like barely holds an AEW microphone in his hand. Like that's probably the best one I've seen yet get held into one of those hands. But yeah, that with that being said, those are the hands. And then he does come with this very nice, shitty rubber leather jacket. And I say it's very nice because I do like the designing on this jacket, don't get me wrong. Like, part of me almost kind of wants to, cut half the sleeves off just so I can still keep that and bend the arms and stuff like that, or maybe cut a little hole into the sleeves so then maybe the arms can bend a bit, because all the little nice studded jacket ends and stuff of that nature, you got the little I don't know what that's exactly supposed to be, but I think that's pretty cool on the jacket. All around, this jacket's nice, it's got detail to it and stuff of that nature, but shitty rubber jackets are still shitty rubber jackets, but I got this one in particular so then that way I wouldn't have to deal with the staining on the torso, because that was kind of my main concern when it came to this Moxley. Was the normal one comes with a t-shirt that is seen to stain the shit out of this figure, and as you can tell, rubber leather jacket has saved the day. Perfect Moxley right here. So another reason why I was gladly willing to open this as well, because I don't have an AEW Moxley to use. So now if I really want to, if I feel like this Moxley's too huge, maybe I'll say fuck it, I'll take the arms off, the head off, put it onto my Mattel custom Moxley. And that way he's got the updated tattoos and stuff of that nature. He's got interchangeability in the hands. Plus, he'll have more of a modern Moxley look, in my opinion. Anywho, yeah, but with that being said, though, why don't we kind of break this figure down a little bit? And I'm just real quick, we'll pause it, and I am going to grab the shield just to kind of stand them side by side so I can kind of tell and gauge if I'm going to want to use this in the Fed or not. Alrighty. Now that we've got all three members of the Shield sitting here, just to kind of give you a little comparison, this is my custom Jon Moxley. This is the official AEW Jon Moxley. as you can see, he does kind of tower a little bit, but in my opinion, not really the biggest ordeal. Will say though, we gotta stand him up nearby the tribal chief himself. And honestly, I really, it doesn't bug me too much. Like, yeah, maybe if you know Moxley may be a few inches shorter than Roman, that'll break the illusion. Same thing when it comes to Seth, as I don't think he towers over Seth that much. But that's just kind of besides the point. With that being said, though, let's break this figure down a little bit. So looking into this AEW Moxley head scan, I want to say this is a repeat head scan. It's definitely not like his most modern look. If you take that into consideration, like he's got more of a shaved head now. He doesn't have like the little strands of hair on the top and all that kind of stuff. Of course, now that I own a AEW Moxley, I can also see some of his tattooed like decals a bit better. He's got the rose with the thorns. He's got two sides. You know, pretty interesting decal work. Nothing really too much to say about the torso. Then, of course, he's got all these cool little pockets and designs on his pants. He's got a green belt with a silver buckle. He's got a patch that has Moxley written in it on the back. One of the mini pockets. You got zippers. You know, this figure has a lot of cool, unique things about it when it comes to the pants mold. And that's one thing I can say with AEW is at least they do like stuff like that fairly well. Because, like, if you were to take in the Shield mold that we've seen for years, and I want to say are still being used as far as the re-release Seth Rollins that came out not all that long ago in the Greatest Hits 2 wave, they literally have, like, the same lower legs. If anything, like, these might be sculpted to be a bit bigger, so Roman's a bit taller. Of course, my custom Moxley is using the WrestleMania 22 Edge formula with an arm swap and a head swap and a custom shittily painted jacket that I painted myself, aka I am not a good customizer, so but I thought this Moxley came out fairly decent. I don't know, maybe you can give me your opinions in the comment section below, because I did take the time to acetone like the Rated R logo off. I acetoned the shoulder to get rid of his tattoo. So, you know, it's not like I just swapped a few things, called it a Moxley, called it a day. Anywho, let's get this man posed up and we can kind of get into our final thoughts, shall we? Alrighty, you guys, now that we've got the Shield all kind of posed up side by side with each other, because in my Fed, I still use the Shield, one of the most dominant factions of all time, so why wouldn't I want to display them in the history of Damn Defiant Wrestling? Anywho, you know, your current tag team champions, Jon Moxley and Roman Reigns. And, of course, the number one contender for the World Championship at the upcoming pay-per-view, Seth Rollins. Anyway, this is about the Jon Moxley figure. What do I have to say about this Moxley? You know, I've heard a lot of things about some of the older Moxleys becoming fairly loose and stuff of that nature. Only time will tell, as I tend to use this for fedding, because I think I am going to use it for fedding. It doesn't really bother me too much scale-wise. Like, yeah, maybe it could be a bit more accurate, but it is a completely different figure line. They're not supposed to thoroughly be in scale with Mattel figures. And if that was their intended goal at first, was to keep them in true scale with the Mattel side of things, then I think they wouldn't really be trying to bother to go too hard in the paint with these. Of course, we haven't seen too many releases as of late. After all, Series 8 and the Unmatched just started getting shipped out here in the US, as I saw My Damn Toys reviewed some of those figures the other day, and yeah, it's quite an interesting time as far as the AEW figures go. I hope we get more, and I hope we get a lot more new guys, and if not new guys, better formulas for existing guys. Like, I don't know. I don't own them personally, but I've heard the ab crunch on Private Parties figures are pretty horrendous. We could definitely use some new head scans for Dax and Cash. After all, those head scans that we've gotten for the first two different figure sets of them, horrendous. There's a lot to be improved, but of course we're still fairly early on in this company's history, so I wouldn't judge AEW's figures too hard based off of like what they've gotten done so far, because they're only 12 series in, 13. I'm not exactly sure what wave they are on, but I just know if they continue to have these problems like 20, 30 waves in, I could see where these figures may fall off, because WWE only, like, yeah, some figures for Mattel were like hit or miss. You had some horrendous head scans and stuff of that nature, but the figure formulas and the way they posed and stuff of that like nature only would get better. And AEW's like the figure posability has been getting better. I would like to see the formulas get a little bit better and just better head scans overall, because for a figure who has like multiple of himself in the AEW line, a lot of his figures apparently are loose, but this one feels buttery smooth out the package. So with that being said, what would I rate this figure? Because this one's already going on a little bit longer than intended. I'd have to say that the Jon Moxley is going to be getting a good solid 8 out of 10 for the Chase version, of course. I do not really recommend the potential staining that will come if you buy the regular edition of this figure, but they are both in the same attire. You're essentially getting the same figure either way. You're just getting a difference in the jacket, and I mean, to me personally, I think the jacket is kind of worth it to avoid the staining of the figure. So, because with that still being a big problem, even with Mattel figures sometimes, because I have a couple of figures that have gotten stained from the oversaturated ink in the little figure hoodies and shit like that. So hopefully that's a quality control problem that will be like looked into and fixed, at least on Mattel's side, because AEW, who knows, Jazzware may never even do it. Knowing our luck, we'll never see that Alex Reynolds and stuff like that either. I need to complete my Dark Order though, so I hope we at least get him, and then they can completely shut this series down. I could give like a crap after that. Just kind of joking there, obviously, but anyways, doesn't really matter. We're wrapping this up. If you liked the video, like the video. If you didn't like the video, well, sorry you didn't like the video, but if you did like the video, feel free to go check out some other action figure content, such as, you know, action figure reviews like this one. We've got some action figure unboxings, which, I mean, kind of redundant to want to go back and watch those, but maybe you like watching unboxing videos, I don't know, you could be that kind of person. And with that also being said, we've also got the idea that you could go and watch some of the pick fed. I know I talked about it earlier, so if you would like to, feel free to go check out some of the episodes and stuff of that nature we got out now. Just finished episode 8 up about 10 days ago as of recording this, if not maybe 11 now. Now that I've got this review done, I plan on starting to work on the pay-per-view. I just gotta get the matches finished, gotta get that stuff situated, and then if I can figure out how to work it, at least for the pre-show, if not maybe even just one or maybe even 2 matches on the main card, I would love to have a special guest commentator with me. I already got in contact with the guy who I would like to see. He knows who he is. So hopefully we can work that out and at least get him in on the pre-show, if anything. Kind of my first time trying to collab as far as other people in the wrestling figure community goes. So, yeah. But on that note, feel free to subscribe. After all, it is free to subscribe. And you can also follow me on Instagram as well to get updates on action figure reviews and or anything pick fed related, pretty much, as I kind of mainly made it as a way to post action figure like fed shots. before the show comes out to just kind of tease everyone, be like, oh, this cool spot could be happening. Oh, this spot happens in this match. Maybe you might want to go tune in and see who wins. Because the full matches, the full results only are here on YouTube unless we talk about it like days later to announce a show on Instagram. So yeah. Other than that though, I don't think there's really anything else I can say. So on that note, have a good rest of your day, good rest of your night, whenever you are watching this. We are out of here. Peace out, yo.